Hello there, boys and girls. We're back again for another form of decimals. Now, today we're going to be working with word form. Now, you've probably done some word form of numbers before, and that's basically just taking a number and writing it with letters instead of with numbers as we could be, or rather in the standard form. Today we're going to be extending that knowledge to think about how we can write word form of numbers with decimals. All right, so basically before we even start with word form, we need to think about how standard formed numbers are organized. So what we typically have is let's go to, we have a group of 3 digits and then a comma, a group of another 3 digits, and then we'll put the decimal there, and then finally another group of 3 digits. Notice how every group of 3 digits is separated by something, either a comma or a decimal. Now, if I wanted to go further this way, I could go ahead, I could put 1, 2, 3 more, and then there would be a comma there. So every group of 3 numbers represents kind of sort of like a set of numbers. So when we have a number, we'll start off simply like we always do. Let's take the number 524. Now 524, notice what I just said out loud, 524. Well, if I'm going to write that in word form, I'm going to write it exactly how I just said it. I said it 524. 524, 524. Let's say I have 3, 2, 7, 2, 4, 9. So again, we have groups of 3 here. So when we have groups of 3, I'm only going to look at that group of 3. What is that I would read out loud? Well, I see that that is 327. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write 327. Now, wait a minute. It's not actually 327. Notice the comma here. This is place value is actually the thousands place value, the 10,000s place value, and the 100,000s place value. So after I write my group of 3, I'm going to write what it ends with. It ended with 1,000. So 327,000, because all 3 of these have thousands in their place values. So 327,000, and then I come to another grouping of 3. Now this grouping of 3, I see, I'm going to ignore what I've already done, I see 249. Think about what I just said, 249. What would I write for 249? Yes, of course, I'd write 249 in word form. So here we have the word form, words written in letters, and here we have the standard form where we have numbers written in numbers. And remember, we're looking at groups of 3. So we had a group of 3, 327, and then I have that comma there to indicate that these were actually in the thousands. And then I have this group of 3, 249. So I, again, included them in a group of 3. Now, let's say I have not enough to make a full group of 3. So let's say I have 12,102. 12,102. So I don't have a full group of 3 in this section now, do I? So does that mean I go into that group of 3? Well, no, I'm only going to look at a group of 3 that's before my separator, my comma. So I know that this is 12,000 because there's no hundreds value, and I know and I see that that's a 12 right there. So I'm going to write 12,000. 12,000. See, 12,000 right there. And then I'm going to cover that up, and I'm going to think about what this says right. Wait. There's no value right there. So am I going to write a 0? What would you write? Well, when I look at this, I see the number 102. So guess what I'm going to write? I'm going to write 102. Notice when I said it out loud, 102, 102. So the whole thing is 12,102, 12,102. Now, let's think about how if we were to add a decimal into this number, into our word form. So again, decimals are groups of 3. So we're going to be looking at them the same way we've been looking at these numbers here. Let's say I have 4.821. 4.821. So I have this group, I have this decimal right here separating out my groups of 3. So right here, everything before the decimal is just a 4. So I'm going to write 4. Now, when I see this decimal, there's a very, very secret word we use to tell when there's a decimal. Now, I'm not going to write the word decimal. That's not correct. What I'm going to write is the word and. When I read this number, I use the word and as a code word for a decimal. So I have 4 and then I'm going to look at this group of 3. What is this? How would I read this group of 3 like normal? See, I'm covering it up. I see 821, 821. So I have 4 and 821. Now I have to be careful here. Is this actually worth $821? No, it's not. It's a lot less. So when I'm writing in decimals, whatever value, place value, is the last digit, I need to include it in my number. So this is 821 thousandths because my last digit is in the thousandths place. And notice how I put that TH there to indicate that it's not a whole number. Well, what if I have 14.82? Wait a minute, I still have 1, 2, 3, 4 digits, like I had 1, 2, 3, 4 digits here, but it's a completely different number. The values are all different in this one. So what I'm going to write here is, I see, what is this number? I see a 14. So I'm going to write 14. What am I going to write to represent that decimal? Who remembers? Ah, yes, it's the word and. So 14 and. Now, if I look at this after the decimal, what number do you see? I see an 82. Do you see that 82 there? So I'm going to write 82. Now here's the trick. It's not actually worth 82 because it's a decimal. What I need to do is I need to think about what place value the last digit is in. Well, I know that this is the ones place. There's the decimal. This is the tenths place, and this is the hundredths place. That's right. It's the hundredths place. So I'm going to write hundredths. So 82 hundredths. See the TH there indicating hundredths. So 14 and 82 hundredths. Notice how I'm just looking to see what the last value is for the place value. Let's do one more of these. Let's say I have this is quite a bit larger now, isn't it? So again, I'm going to look at my decimal. I'm going to look at the group of 3 before it. I see 821. Do you see the 821? So I'm going to go ahead and write 821. Now, who remembers what the super secret code word was for the decimal? Yep. And. So I'm going to cover up and look at this. What number is that? Well, that's just a 4. But is it like $4? Is that the same as $4? No, it's not. It's 4 tenths. Because the last value is in the tens place. There's no value in the hundredths. There's no value in the thousandths place, so I don't need to talk about them. I only have value in the tenths place. Here I had 82 hundredths because the last value was in the hundredths place. Here I had 821 thousandths because I had value ending in the thousandths place. So that's how you create the word forms and read out loud numbers with decimals. You look at the groupings of 3 that you can see, and you think about the place value that the decimal ends in and add it to the word form of the number.